YouTube child is showing up for an appearance. Her father is the guy that used to go around, and if you've been in YouTube days, I know the father. He would go around and take images of young girls and boys who were in dance, gymnastics. He would run around like New York and they would do like crazy poses, and he's like, oh, let's go to the next place.
Hey guys, so I just saw this video.
Mind you, she's been since the day she was born. What?
And I just wanted to share my opinions on it really quick. Alright, so first of all, the entire thing is just not true.
Okay, so we all know why we're here, so let's talk about it. I do think that I'm just going to speak directly to Salish. Now, this does go a little bit against my morals. I just want to be completely honest because I don't believe in addressing a 15-year-old, but Salish, you are the one who made the video, and I feel like I owe you the apology and I owe you the explanation, not everybody else. Girl, I do want to say that your fan base is huge and they are supporting you, so be very proud about that.
Y'all, this is not just drama anymore. This is serious. Because after months of random creators dragging Jordan Matter and accusing him of exploiting his daughter Salish since the day she was born, Salish finally fired back. And the way she did it, yeah, she wasn't holding anything back. Now, if you've been around my channel, you already know that I've covered Jordan and Salish before. We broke down why so many people started calling their content in the first place and why Salish kept getting dragged into the mess even though she is literally a teenager. So if you haven't already seen that, definitely check it out right after this one because the way this story has evolved is wild. Normally you would expect Jordan to step in, right? But no, Salish herself saw it and she wasn't about to let some stranger rewrite her story. She turned on her camera and clapped back with receipts with sarcasm and way more maturity than most adults online. And y'all, the internet did not see that coming. And if that wasn't enough, she also called Britney out for deleting her comments twice. Like, why are you scared of a 15-year-old giving her side of the story? The whole thing changed the narrative completely, and now the internet is watching Britney backpedal while Jordan is just out here leaving the sweetest dad comments under Salish's videos. So here's where the whole mess really started blowing up. Britney didn't just toss a little opinion out there, she basically sat down, hit record, and built her entire video around the idea that Jordan Matter has been using Salish since she was a baby. And the way that she said it didn't sound like concern at all. It came off like she'd already made herself judge, jury, and executioner.
Thank God this person's just doing it for her kids, but I can tell you that other people weren't. There were 1000% grown adults there trying to see this young teen girl. Mind you, she's been exploited since the day she was born. What?
Now, the thing about the internet is this. Once you put the word exploitation next to a minor's name, you already know people are gonna run with it. Screenshots, duets, Reddit threads, suddenly everybody is an expert on the Matter family, even though they've never stepped foot in their house. And Britney fed right into that. She didn't just question Jordan's content, she went as far as to imply Salish had no real choice in being on camera. And that's exactly where the internet started splitting it in two. Some people were not having it at all, and one person clapped back with, "Stop hating, okay? You don't even know them." And another was like, "She made it sound like he's weird. That's crazy." So right away, it wasn't just about the video anymore. It turned into this bigger back and forth between people who think family channels are shady by default and people who feel like outsiders have no right to label Salish's relationship with her dad. And that's why Salish's clapback hit so hard later, because Britney wasn't just criticizing Jordan's editing style or thumbnails, she was making it sound like Salish had no say in her own life, which, if you think about it, is the exact opposite of what we're about to see when Salish finally steps in. And y'all, this is where the whole story took a turn, because instead of Jordan coming online to defend himself, it was Salish who stepped up. And the way she carried herself, let's just say she just came across way more mature than the adult who was calling her out. She didn't go on some long rant or try to drag Britney back. She kept it straight to the point, and the first thing she shut down was the whole exploitation narrative. She made it crystal clear that she is not being forced into anything, that filming is something she chooses to do, and that she actually enjoys it.
So the entire I'm excited thing is just not true. Like every single week, my dad asks me if I want to film, and I always say yes because I love everybody on here so much. I love filming and I love filming.
And let's talk about how bold it was for her to bring up the comment situation, because not only did she defend her dad, but she also called Britney out for allegedly deleting her replies twice. Like, imagine making a whole video about someone and then not being able to handle them responding.
Also, if you're gonna make an entire video about me, can you at least be brave enough to keep my comment up? I mean, I posted that comment twice and you deleted it within 2 minutes each time.
What really stood out though was how much love she showed her dad while still standing her ground. She reminded everyone that the people actually in her life know what's going on, not the strangers on the internet trying to push their own narrative. But that wasn't even the end of it, because the more Salish talked, the more it became obvious that this wasn't just some teenager reading off a script her dad told her to say. She didn't just defend herself, she doubled down on defending Jordan. And she did it in that kind of way where you could tell she wasn't just protecting him because he's her dad, but because she knows the reality of their situation better than anybody. She basically said, stop making assumptions about my dad when you don't know him like I do. And because she's 15, she also had those little sarcastic digs sprinkled in, like pointing out that Britney didn't even say her name with confidence. That part was low-key hilarious because it showed Salish wasn't intimidated by any of this. She was irritated, sure, but she wasn't folding under pressure.
I don't really know why you're too scared of a 15-year-old little girl commenting towards you. Oh, also, by the way, when you said my name, you said it with a question mark, but thank you for pronouncing it right. You're right, it is Salish. And here's the thing, you don't know me, you don't know my dad, and you never asked us, what the truth is, so could you please stop making assumptions about us?
She also made sure to remind everyone that just because she couldn't greet fans at a recent event doesn't mean she doesn't want to. Police literally told her it wasn't safe, and instead of ignoring it, she explained it. That kind of transparency is exactly why people ride for her.
So I just want to make it so clear, I really wish that I could have said hi to everybody that was there supporting us on Saturday, because it meant the world to us, but the police told me it was unsafe for me to go out there, and I didn't want anybody there to get hurt. So, yeah.
Salish! State police intervened and shut down the event early amid safety concerns.
Dad, we can't end it. People came from...
I know.
And then, to top it all off, Jordan Matter himself jumped into the comments under her video with the sweetest response. He called her his little girl with a heart emoji, thanked her for standing up for him, and even pointed out that he tried to watch Britney's video but couldn't because it was already deleted. And y'all, the internet wasted no time in choosing sides, because as soon as Salish's video dropped, the comment section was filled with people shutting down the whole exploitation claim. One person literally wrote, "She is so perfect. She has never been everyone loves her, and she is so beautiful. A lot of people would love to be Salish, so she's not." Another comment that stood out said, "She is way better than those Glowhouse teens who start drama and then act innocent." And listen, that is not just shade, that is fans drawing comparisons between how Salish carries herself versus other influencer groups her age. But wait a minute, because we need to pause right here. The Glowhouse has been controversial, yeah, but their youngest member, Zuza, tragically passed away. She spent 11 of her 14 years fighting relentless cancer, and the fact that she didn't get to live her whole life is beyond heartbreaking. No matter the drama that group has been going through, losing a child like that is devastating. My heart genuinely goes out to her family, her fans, and everyone who loved her. So when fans say Salish is better than the Glowhouse teens, they're really pointing at the drama, not Zuza, because her story deserves nothing but respect. Back to Salish though, those reactions just prove that she's managed to separate herself from the typical teen influencer mess. And for fans, that's why they see her as different, because she's not just talking, she's actually showing maturity beyond her age. Now, after all of that, you would think that Britney would double down, right? Like most creators in this situation either get defensive or try to spin the narrative in their favor, but no. Britney ended up backtracking with a full apology video. And here's the thing, she didn't just throw a half-hearted, "sorry you were offended," she addressed Salish directly, which honestly was the only move she had left at that point. She admitted her original video came off way harsher than she intended, and she actually said she regrets grouping Salish with Jordan without recognizing that Salish has her own voice and her own choices.
said in the video, which I can understand why it's extremely triggering and upsetting that you were and I was labeling that as a young child. Now I realize that you're 15 and you can give consent, and I think that is amazing, and I'm happy that you and your dad have that bond and that connection that you feel comfortable telling him, yes, I give consent to do these videos.
She even tried to clear up the whole deleted comment situation, saying she probably thought Salish's replies were fan accounts and deleted them by mistake, which, okay, that's believable, but it also kind of proves Salish's point. Like, if you're gonna make a whole video about somebody, maybe pay attention when they are literally in your comments trying to speak for themselves.
And you had mentioned that you left a couple of comments, and I want to be completely honest with you. I do not remember seeing those comments, but I'm not denying that I deleted them. What I probably assumed was it was a fan-based account, and I just deleted whatever was said. And for that, I'm sorry, because if I had seen your name and I knew it was you, there is no way that I wouldn't have addressed you, or at least allowed you the space on that video to give your side of the story.
Britney also clarified that she doesn't actually dislike Salish or Jordan, she just doesn't agree with family vlogging in general. And while she still stood by her opinion that kids shouldn't be online from a super young age, she admitted Salish is old enough now to consent, and it's clear she genuinely loves what she's doing.
Because I don't think that children are able to give consent, especially at a really young age, to be involved in family vlogging. In your video, you had said, it just seems like you don't like us, so just come out and say that. I had no idea who you were until those videos started coming out, and I was truly taken aback by the chaos of which the videos were.
The crazy part though, even though she apologized, fans weren't really buying it. By the time Britney's follow-up dropped, the internet had already rallied around Salish. People felt like Britney only apologized because she got called out and dragged, not because she actually believed she was wrong. And let's be real, once you've been checked by a teenager in front of millions of people, your credibility kind of takes a hit. So yeah, Britney's apology was out there, but in the court of public opinion, Salish had already won.